Credo che ci sia una domanda che vi starete chiedendo. Ma com'è possibile che dal nulla ho iniziato a vedere i fratelli Tate dappertutto? Ciao ragazzi, sono Goro. Se nell'ultimo periodo ti è capitato di sentire questo nome, ed è anche il motivo per cui hai cliccato su questo video, oggi andremo a vedere la tragica storia di Andrew Tate e di come un bambino cresciuto nella povertà sia riuscito a diventare il top G di oggi ed essere la persona più ricercata sul web, battendo Kim Kardashian, Ariana Grande e le Blackpink.
If you were introducing yourself, how would you describe yourself? Like, what do you do? Who are you?
Andrew Tate, 4-time kickboxing world champion. And I've conquered the internet. I decided to conquer it and I took it and it's all mine.
Can you please tell the people who Andrew Tate is?
I've lived many different lives. I like to think the reason I'm so wise is because I've lived 1,000 human years. So I've done a lot of different things. I've been broke, I've been rich. I was a professional athlete. I was a webcam pimp. I've done it all.
Bella bro, prima di continuare ti ricordo che il 12 agosto esce il mio nuovo singolo 59 Mean Butterflies.
Farfalle e lucciole, destino di briciole, fatte stare insieme, ma non sarà niente. 59.000 prima dello show.
Per capire la sua storia bisogna tornare indietro nel tempo, a più di 35 anni fa. Amory Tate nasce a Chicago il 27 dicembre 1958, figlio di un avvocato. Da subito si innamora degli scacchi, cosa che poi insegnerà al figlio maggiore Andrew. Nel corso della sua vita servirà per l'aeronautica militare degli Stati Uniti. Oltre all'inglese diventa fluente in diverse lingue tra cui il russo, lo spagnolo e il tedesco. Anche se non diventerà mai un Grandmaster, ovvero il rank massimo a cui un giocatore di scacchi può ambire, Amory nella sua carriera diventa uno dei giocatori neri più rispettati dello sport. Si innamora e darà luce a 3 bambini, Andrew il più grande, Tristan a distanza di 2 anni e Janine, la figlia che diventerà avvocatessa staccandosi e chiudendo i rapporti con i 2 fratelli. È da subito chiaro che Amory cresce Andrew come il prodigio degli scacchi, infatti alla sola età di 5 anni diventa campione statale di scacchi, allenandosi con il padre dalle 3 alle 5 ore al giorno. Tuttora Andrew è un ottimo giocatore di scacchi, ma probabilmente sarebbe diventato un Grandmaster se avesse continuato.
So I'll give you the very, very short version of my life story. My father was the greatest black chess player in history. He was a master of the game. So when I was growing up from a very young age, from the age of around 3, I was training to become a chess grandmaster. I was on track to be a chess grandmaster by the age of around 12. When I was 5, I became the state chess champion for Indiana in the under 16s. I was the youngest to ever win it. I remember I was 5 years old. When you're 5 and you're playing a 16-year-old, that's scary, right? I'm sitting my ass at 5. And there's some big 16-year-old there. And I remember when I beat him, he cried.
Tate cresce in uno dei posti più poveri degli Stati Uniti d'America. Ancora prima della fase adolescenziale i suoi genitori divorziano ed è costretto insieme ai suoi fratelli di andare a vivere in Inghilterra, precisamente a Luton con la madre, un posto che poi menzionerà diverse volte.
We were growing up, I was in sleepy little Goshen, Indiana. My mother and father split up. My mother was English, so we all went back to England. I was around 11. And in England, there's no chess, not like in America, right? And I also lost my coach because my dad stayed here.
All'età di 15 anni si innamora delle arti marziali dopo aver perso il mentore per via del trasferimento. A Andrew poi si unirà anche Tristan e insieme inizieranno a combattere, essendo Andrew 1,92 cm e Tristan 1,90 cm, ideale per il kickboxing e le arti marziali. Andrew ha spesso comparato a lottare e giocare a scacchi, essendo entrambi gli sport individualisti, dovendoti affidare a nessuno fuori da te stesso e alle tue abilità. Quello di Andrew, o per meglio dire dei fratelli Tate, è stato tutto fuorché un percorso convenzionale. Spesso entrambi parlano di come hanno vissuto la loro scalata al successo e dei modi non convenzionali con cui si procuravano ad esempio cibo con alto contenuto proteico.
So I had a few sleepy years, I was in school or whatever, and then I decided I wanted to replace chess with something. And to me, the closest possible fit I could find was fighting. People say, how can you go from chess, which is geeky, to getting in the cage and smashing someone's face in? But to me, they're exactly the same thing, right? In most sports, there's a degree of luck. Like in poker, I don't care how good, listen, all you poker players, you all fucking, oh, I play poker, I don't care how good you are. If every single hand you get is trash, you're gonna lose.
Yep.
And if you keep getting pocket aces, you're gonna win, right?
Yep.
So there's a degree of luck.
Facts.
Or if you play a team sport, your team can have a good day or a bad day, and that'll affect how the outcome of the game, regardless of how you performed, right? So I wanted something just like chess, where there's no luck, it's just me, one-on-one, brutal, war. I wanted to hurt someone. I wanted to make someone else cry like that 16-year-old bitch cried.
We didn't really grow up poor because our dad was a chess master. Andrew, do you want to talk about this a little bit, please? We didn't really grow up poor. In fact, let me tell you guys a true story. I was 21 years of age. This is not long ago. 21 years of age. Yesterday was my birthday. And me and Andrew, what did we eat on my birthday?
KFC.
Why did we eat KFC? Because when I was 21, me and Andrew used to have no food. I used to drive my broken Volkswagen Golf to the KFC restaurant in Dunstable, United Kingdom. And I used to sit in my car. And you couldn't ever eat anyone's leftover food if they ever had their mouth on it. But at KFC, they used to buy buckets. And I would sit and wait for people to sit outside, eat their meal, and leave the bucket on the table. And I used to go and take that bucket, 3 or 4 pieces of chicken. And I used to collect 20, 30, 40 pieces of chicken that were perfectly fine left in the buckets. And I used to go home and I used to freeze that chicken. And me and Andrew would break it up, put it in our rice. And that was our meal. That's what sustained us for that hard year. That year we had when I was 21 and you were 22. That's how broke we were. I used to scavenge chicken from KFC because I thought, fuck it, I'm not dying and I'm not losing my kickboxing fights because I don't have enough protein. What am I going to do to make it through the day? That's how broke I was. And that's a sad story if you never make it out. To me, that's a happy story. That's a story of triumph. Now it's like, hey, Andrew, it's my birthday. What we doing? KFC? And it's a big joke. We sit there eating our KFC laughing about how we used to scavenge KFC chicken.
I due fratelli hanno da sempre dimostrato di avere lo stesso carattere, arrogante e di non voler stare alle regole imposte dalla società. Grazie a questo sono stati notati da diversi produttori e così hanno potuto partecipare a diversi show televisivi dal 2008 in poi, dove essenzialmente interpretavano ciò che erano nel quotidiano, cosa che li ha aiutati a farsi conoscere al pubblico.
There's a group of 6 of us, and I'm the only one prepared to scheme his way to win. The reason I retained the money in the first place is to spend it all on these 2 guys and make sure they have a wicked week, and continually talk about how awkward Chloe is. And after that, all I had to do is throw in a few little lies and split the group into a 4 and a 2, get the majority vote, and take 10 grand. Easy. Easy.
Behind her is 23-year-old Tristan Tate.
Nella sua carriera da kickboxer, Andrew è diventato 4 volte campione mondiale ASK, difendendo non solo uno, ma addirittura 2 titoli allo stesso tempo. In una delle sue apparizioni ad un podcast descrive la prima vittoria del titolo mondiale.
Lots of people say they had aspirations of being the world title or the world champion at the beginning. I just turned up to training. I just did as I was told, and then you win, and you win again, and you win again, and you get a title shot, you win, and before you know it, you get up there. My first ever world title fight was on 3 days' notice. So someone pulled out and I had 3 days notice. I had to lose 9 kilo in 3 days. Obviously was completely destroyed from the weight cut. Everyone expected me to lose. And I won. But they gave and I'll say I won because I did win. They gave the decision to the other guy. It was in France and it was in Paris and it was me against the French world champion. They gave it to him. But I whooped his ass, right? And we submitted the video to the ISKA, the organization, and they demanded a rematch because it was so obvious I won. And we fought again, and without the big weight cut problem, I knocked him out in the 8.
Nella sua ultima apparizione in un reality, Andrew viene cacciato dopo poche settimane per colpa di uno scandalo. A questo punto i 2 fratelli si trovano a un bivio. Andrew tra pochi anni arriverà ai 30. Ormai è 4 volte campione mondiale, ma nonostante questo lotta poco, quanto basta per pagare allenatori, promoter, manager, una casa e una macchina. Siamo lontani dalla rivoluzione McGregor e da milioni fatti nella gabbia. Qui le cose sono diverse e lui lo sa. Lo sai fratello, come lo sa anche un altro famoso atleta, l'ultimo stylebender, anche lui 2 volte campione mondiale di kickbox che ha deciso di dedicarsi alla MMA. Andrew ci pensa, anche questa potrebbe essere una soluzione per lui, ma continua ad avere un problema persistente, si è già rotto 2 volte la mano con quei guanti. Quindi un giorno con il fratello si siedono e per ore pensano a cosa potrebbero fare per diventare ricchi. Cercano su YouTube. Dopo ore e ore di ricerche, clicca su un annuncio e quasi per caso si imbatte in un sito di cam chat per adulti. Qui gli viene un'idea geniale. Chiama le varie ragazze che si è fatto durante i viaggi. Compra 6 biglietti d'aereo. All'inizio lui non dice nulla, le riunisce in un appartamento e le presenta, tutte all'oscuro l'una dell'altra. Subito decide di proporre la geniale idea di fare il loro cam show. 20% è loro, 80% lo tiene lui, ma non si dovranno preoccupare di nulla, tranne che di essere presenti e intrattenere il pubblico. 2 nello show che rifiutano e vanno via. Al tempo questo non era un business così saturato. Così inizia la storia di successo di Tate.
Yes, let's talk about the webcam business. Yeah. Yes. And one day I woke up and I literally just woke up. I looked at my bank. I just won a world title fight, but I hadn't fought in 6 months. By the time I paid all my back rent and paid my car payments, all that, I looked at my bank. I had like 3 grand, 4 grand in there. And I'm like, I'm giving up my entire life and I don't even know how I'm going to live. I need to get rich. I want to get rich. So I said to my coach, look, I'm going to take a couple months off and I'm going to focus purely on money. And the story is, and this is a completely true story, I'm sitting with my brother and I'm like, how can we get rich? You know what's amazing? Now I have money. Lots of people always ask me, how do I get rich? And I say, when's the last time you talked about money? When's the last time you sat down with your friends and refused to talk about anything else but how to make money? How are you making money? How are you making money? How am I making money? How can we make money together? How's that guy making money? They just want to get rich, right? I want to be rich, but they have no plan to get rich. And a hope and a plan are very different things. I explain this to people all the time. Everyone has a dream, but no one has a plan. And nothing good is going to happen on accident, right? I didn't become world champion on accident. I didn't wake up and someone go, how'd you become world champion? And I went, oops. You have to plan for it. So I said to Tristan, we need to discuss money. We need to plan this and we need to work out a way we can get rich. And then I got really pissed off because I realized that money isn't real and it's all a scam. And the banks are destroying us in real time with inflation. I'm writing down, I was watching some YouTube videos like financial advice and we're talking about assets, liabilities, etc. And I'm writing down all my assets and I'm trying to work out what I have that's worth money. And the only thing I writ down, because I had a car, but what's that worth? Nothing. I'm big and strong, but I'm already fighting. I can't think of anything else to do with that. The only thing I had was, because I'd been fighting all around the world, I had these 6 girlfriends. She falls in love with you. You're the big millionaire in London. Of course, she thinks you live in the balling life. You're in some tiny apartment with a door locked. So I had these girlfriends and I thought, well, I can't open a strip club. It costs money to open a strip club. And I'm kind of racking my brain. And by absolute coincidence, I'm going around the internet and I saw in the corner, talk to live girls now. So I clicked on it and there's some chick there on a computer, like, hi, did it. And I was like, my girls can do that. So that was the very beginning. That was the eureka moment. And I walked into my brother's bedroom and I said, we're going to start a webcam company. That was the beginning of it. So the beginning of it was I messaged my 6 girlfriends and told them they're all coming to live with me and I had a job for them in London. 2 of them wouldn't come. 4 of them agreed. And I was like, we're going to make money, a bunch of money. You're going to live with me, blah, blah, blah. We're going to live the dream. Right now I'm in between apartments. So I'm in this shitty apartment, you know, because kickboxing's not boxing, bro. You're not making millions like the boxers are. So the 4 girls flew in. I sat them all down at a table. They're all like, who's this chick? Who's this chick? Told them all the truth. I just straight sat there. Just sat there and said, listen, I've been with you all. I'm starting a webcam business. I'm going to get rich. Some of you are going to come with me to the top of the mountain, or if you're pissed off, you can fucking fly home. So 2 of them left. 2 of them agreed to stay. And the beginning of my cam empire was this tiny little apartment, me and my 2 girlfriends. These girls were so inept from a business perspective. You need to sell the dream. So I'm training these girls, and it got to the point where it was easier if I just typed myself. So what we ended up doing was we had the 2 girls on camera with a keyboard, which wasn't plugged in, doing this. And then I was behind the screen talking to the dudes, saying the right things, and start dragging money out the internet. And for me, I mean, this is a long time ago, right? This is about, how old am I now? I'm 34, so I was about 28. So about 6, 7, maybe 8 years ago, right? And making money online nowadays is far more popular than it was.
Presto realizza di avere bisogno di più ragazze. Si ritira dal mondo agonistico e si dedica giorno e notte alla sua nuova impresa. Da 4 diventano 12 le ragazze, 6 di Andrew e 6 di Tristan. Da 12 in un appartamento si espandono e arrivano ad avere diverse location con più di 60 ragazze. Ma con così tanto staff le cose si fanno più difficili e la pressione sale sulle spalle dei fratelli.
2 girls, and we started this little webcam business from my apartment, and it just grew and grew and grew, and it got to the point where at one point I had 75 women working for me in 4 locations. Damn. And I was doing $600,000 a month.
La ragazza che li faceva guadagnare di più inizia a creare problemi a casa e lui non ha altra scelta. Lei viene cacciata, ma non prima di chiedere i soldi che secondo lei le aspettavano. Andrew, ridendo, le sbatte la porta in faccia. Lei sporge denuncia per abusi. Le forze speciali londinesi entrano in casa di Tate e lo arrestano. Ci vorranno più di 300.000 sterline e diverse testimonianze dalle ragazze per scagionare Tate. I fratelli decidono che questa è una cosa inaccettabile. Cercano la prossima gallina dalle uova d'oro e decidono di fare un'altra scelta insolita. La Romania. Sarà lì il loro prossimo bersaglio nel mirino. Si trasferiscono, imponendosi nel paese come veri e propri membri criminali. Hanno finalmente trovato ciò che cercavano, un posto dove il denaro regna sovrano sopra la politica e la religione.
Okay, so but this leads into the story of why I moved to Romania. So at the height of my webcam pimping, I think I'm the king of the world, right? I have all these women, da-da-da. But the problem is, my first 2 girls who worked for me because they loved me. And we're a team. He's going to take me from the ghetto streets to the hotel suites, right? Once you get bigger, you start hiring girls who don't love you. They're in it for the money. So I had a whole bunch of girls working for me who weren't really about it. And then I had one girl, and she got too drunk one day, and she threw up in my apartment. I told her to clean up. She refused to clean up, started being an idiot. So I took her stuff, threw out the window. Because it's like, it's about that. With women, you never hit a girl, right? Can't do that. But if all the other girls see me be disrespected, they're going to lose respect for me.
Facts.
Right?
Yep.
So when she's like, I ain't cleaning that up, you get that. So I was like, look, I don't care. And she was my biggest earning girl. She made me on her own maybe $25,000 a month.
Oh, shit.
So I didn't want to fire her. And she knew I didn't want to fire her, which is more reason why I had to fire her ass. So got her shit. We're like high up. We're like high up, like here. It was just out the window. So throws out the window. Got her by her 2 arms and marched her out the door, locked the door, end of it. She starts texting me, you owe me my last month's wages, you owe me my money, give me my money. Did I text her back? I ain't paying you nothing, you threw up my da-da-da-da-da. She went to the police.
Oh, shit.
And told the police I hit her when I didn't.
Whoa.
So it's 5 in the morning, and this is about 4 months later. 5 in the morning, 4 months later, I'm laying in bed. And I heard the door, boom, 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 boom. And I don't know how I knew, I just knew it was police. The way they knocked that door, I was like, if you were gonna rob me, you kick the door in, or this is just too obvious. And as soon as I heard that noise, I paused for a second, and I heard police. And I was like, man. But I didn't know what it was for, right? But there's a few things I can't say in the podcast. I've lived a varied life, right? I've done some things when I had to pay the bills.
Right.
So I was a bit like, what's this gonna be? So I flush my phone down the toilet quickly. Boom. This shit, I'm coming. So I'm trying to hide shit. I'm looking around, like, what do I have to hide? Eventually the door comes off the hinges. Boom. Police bust in.
Yeah.
Fully armored, helmet, boom. The guy at the back had a clipboard of me standing there after one of my fights with a world title belt, and they sent like the big man squad, like the crazy man.
Yeah.
All the officers were like 6'6".
Yeah.
The big boys came.
Damn.
They sent all the niggas to get you.
Yeah,
the
they
British
sent
niggas.
the big boys. And I'm standing there like, okay, like you're under arrest for a suspicion of assault of this dumb hoe. And I'm like,
Wait, this is dumb hoe?
they didn't, but I'm gonna protect her anonymity because I'm a nice guy. Dumb hoe.
Il 17 ottobre 2015 il padre di Andrew, Emory Tate, viene a mancare e Andrew racconta di come allora ha dovuto fare una difficile decisione.
My dad died when I was in Romania, and I had just moved my business from London to Romania, and I was in this apartment with 6 girls, and we were supposed to work, and I just bought all new equipment, and I had to leave England, and I bought this new house, and I spent all my money, right? I was supposed to have a bunch of money. This is before I got big, so I had some money, but I spent all of it. I was supposed to go to his funeral, so I was gonna have to get up and leave Romania, fly all the way to Alabama, stay in America for a few weeks, and then I knew by the time I came back, all the girls were gonna quit or leave, and all this kind of thing. So I had to make a big decision. And I remember when I first started making my money and my dad was still alive, the first thing I did with my money, was retire my mom. It was the first thing I did. So I retired my mom, and I had to make the choice whether I stay there and focus on the business or go to my dad's funeral. My dad would have been furious if I fucked up the financial stability of the family and of my mother and of my brother to just go to his funeral. My dad knew I loved him. I spoke to him every single day. He's a chess player. He's a logical man, right? Get your business running, then come to the grave, do it that way. So of course I would have rather, if I could give all this up now to get my dad back, of course I would. But I can't. What's the best thing to do? To live without my father poor or live without my father rich? I made the choice to miss his funeral, to take care of my mother, to build my empire. It's paid off fantastically. To this day, my mother's still retired. You know, my mother was, at the time, she was cleaning dishes in a school kitchen in Luton.
Tate, in uno dei suoi episodi, racconta come sono diventati famosi in Romania, grazie al fratello che ormai da tempo faceva il playboy con ragazze di successo e che gli è capitato di essere stato fotografato in pubblico con una reporter sposata. Anche qui, dove i soldi regnano sovrani, avranno problemi con la giustizia per una denuncia fatta da un fidanzato convinto che la ragazza fosse stata rapita e tenuta ostaggio a casa dei fratelli, quando in verità non era vero ma era lì per divertirsi. Tate in seguito racconterà anche altri incidenti che hanno segnato la sua vita, senza mezzi termini, nel modo più schietto possibile. Nella comunità c'è un buco. Kevin Samuels, che non ha mai avuto paura di dire la sua, muore per cause sconosciute. Nessuno a livello di fama e spudoratezza era come lui. Nessuno tranne Andrew e suo fratello.
5'3".
How much do you weigh?
That's none of your business. I told you I was fat.
Oh, okay. We don't play that shit on my channel. You get your big fat ass on somewhere then. I don't deal with you big sassy ass broads.
Bitch, don't kill my vibe. Bitch, don't kill my vibe.
But I would be remiss to try to tell you, as an image consultant and as a person and a professional, that you can be 5'3" and weigh so much that you don't even want to tell somebody how much you weigh and think you're gonna get a man to marry you. a high value man. So you go ahead and go on back over and get your 2-piece or 3-piece or whatever you got coming from, Chick-fil-A or Popeyes.
I like sharing my location with him just to make him feel comfortable. Is that
Have
weird?
you had any therapy?
Yes, I have in the past.
You need to go back.
Oh my gosh, really?
You're not his wife.
I'm just being nice.
Come on, be nice. I need $10,000 and we need to go ahead and run the Soul Train up. Be nice.
No.
Of course. So there are things that sound crazy to you.
Yes.
Sharing your location with somebody you've gone out with twice is crazy.
I give myself a solid 9.8.
Are you trolling me?
No, I'm not.
A platform with 1 million folks actively talking about leaving your husband to get back with your ex.
Because he's high value and I felt like...
And the reason you want to break your covenant with God and wreck your home of the pipe fitter guy is because the previous guy was higher value, meaning he earns more money?
Yeah, and his social status.
You have a 3-year-old who's a cancer survivor, and you're about to go out and put her off on not your mother, but your mother's mother.
Oh, she's in her 80s right now.
I mean, I'm happy you're actually talking to me about this because I would never know if this is not okay or not.
What is so goddamn important that you got to get out to drop a 3-year-old with an 80-year-old?
Honestly, nothing. I was honestly just trying to go out and I happened to
blow off steam.
Yeah, I mean.
Vedete, è proprio questo atteggiamento che lo fece diventare conosciuto al tempo e che oggi, in una cultura dove gli uomini si sentono sempre più oppressi, lui ha trovato un sostegno su cui affidare tutta la sua personalità. Fresh and Fit, per esempio, è il podcast più conosciuto che esprime questo ideale, del high value man e del maschio alfa. In sostanza, dicono che se l'uomo guadagna più di un tot di soldi, di solito oltre alle 6 cifre, ha diritto e potere di fare quello che vuole, la vita che molti rapper negli Stati Uniti come Future bragano di avere. Per la maggior parte si scontrano con ragazze di OnlyFans, pronte a tutto per accrescere la loro popolarità.
You know the saying, game can recognize game?
Yeah.
Why do you guys collab with Fresh and Fit or fucking retards, right?
You know, and this is a question that I didn't know if this was gonna come up, because in this space on Twitter and in this space on the internet, all various people hate various people. I decided to not give a shit what I see online. I am only going to judge people based on my personal experiences with them. That's it.
As a man, you need to go through trauma. You need to go through difficult periods. You need to go through things which are extremely uncomfortable to become any kind of man of value. Every single woman on this panel, if you were to ask her to describe the kind of man she wants, she would describe a man who she thinks makes her feel safe, who is dominating, who is smart, who is charismatic, who is interesting, etc. You cannot be all of those things by accident. That's why women love gangsters. He's been through a bunch. He's been shot, this guy's been shot, etc., etc., etc. As a man, if you have not been through extremely difficult processes, you're never going to be a high value man. There are actually far less genuinely, and I'm not talking about the guys who front, genuinely high value men than there are pretty girls. You can go to any club in any country in the world. I've been to 72 countries. You can go to any club in any country in the world and see pretty girls. If you're gonna find a young, in shape, smart, tall, intelligent, rich man, it's extremely difficult to find. And that man has options. He has more options than a beautiful girl. And I'll tell you something, what a high value man respects. When he meets a girl that's genuinely ride or die, as in, I'm with this man, I like this man loves me, I love him. He fucked that bitch, but it doesn't matter because he came home to me. Right. That man has choices. Why would he choose a girl who thinks, oh, if he sleeps with another girl, I'll go sleep with some dude. He'll just ignore you. He won't be with you. You're not gonna have the best of the best if you're gonna think that way. The only
what you don't know won't hurt you, right?
Say again?
What you don't know won't hurt you,
He
right?
will know. He'll smell it because he's a bad boy like me. He'll smell it. But like, no, something ain't right. Something ain't right. And I'm telling you, this is the way the world works. But it's a competitive environment, right?
Why would you do that to the woman you love?
Because Listen, let me tell you something about
He has
the woman.
options, that's why.
No, it's not that. There's no joy without pain. There's no sunshine without rain. You need up and down. This is how the world works. Make her cry, make her cry, make her cry a little bit. Take her to the Maldives. 1, 2, bang. This is what makes life fun. You can't be sitting there all day. You could get I'm telling you, you could get the most high value man in the world who ticks every single box. If he has no hose and he's home with you every day watching Netflix, you're gonna get bored of him anyway. Okay, so what if I were to change the question, right? Let's assume that every single high value man across a 10-year span at some point is gonna fuck another girl. Okay, yeah? Do you want him to lie to you or tell you the truth?
Tell me the truth.
So you want him to tell you the truth so you can go out there and fuck some idiot, some moron from the club, some dork?
We're even, right?
No, we're not even.
Yep.
No, we're not. That's absolutely not even. You've been with a guy for 3 years who's been taking care of you. You're a couple. He's been paying the bills, looking after you. He slept with some idiot girl he doesn't care about anymore, and you're gonna go bang fucking Pedro.
Next question. For the men, what do you guys consider a high valued man? Is it looks, is it money, or is it both? Or I mean, what's your opinion on that? I'm just curious on what you guys as a man thinks a high value man is.
You know what I truly think a high value man is? A high value man is doing something which it's a few things. Women understand from a biological perspective, they like a man who can fight.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if your man had money, a Ferrari, everything, but if you knew for a fact, if any dude stepped to him, he'd get sparked, you wouldn't want him. The true marker of a high value man is a man who could say no to pussy. And I mean this on a genuine level. Here's the problem. Here's the problem you girls don't understand. All the lower level dudes, you say, I don't want a high value man who cheats, da-da-da. If you got a lower value guy,
he'll cheat up with anybody.
He'll fuck anything.
Period.
He has no choice.
I Tate sono un treno in corsa senza sosta. Grazie a vari contatti e una discussione riata tra i fratelli proprietari della catena di casinò più grande dell'est europeo, riesce a convincere i tre ad aprire in Romania, usando il loro nome a spese sue in cambio di una percentuale. Oltre a questo, Andrew detiene il 10% della RFX, che in Romania si può comparare alla UFC americana. E secondo Tristan, una delle loro maggiori fonti di guadagno sono stati Bitcoin. Non perché era visto come un investimento dai fratelli, ma più che altro per la semplicità degli scambi con cui potevano fare le loro transizioni. Entrambi sono ambiziosi, vogliono e prendono ciò che possono. Arrivati a questo punto credo che ci sia una domanda che vi starete chiedendo. Ma com'è possibile che dal nulla ho iniziato a vedere i fratelli Tate dappertutto? Beh, è semplice. Andrew ha diverse strategie di marketing. La prima si chiama guerriglia marketing, ovvero arrivare a più persone possibili nel modo meno costoso. E c'è solamente una cosa, la cosa migliore che Andrew ha capito e ha iniziato a sfruttare, ovvero parlare di argomenti che vanno a toccare in prima persona la situazione sociale di oggi. Ad esempio, esprimendo forti opinioni contrastanti alla massa su argomenti come l'indipendenza economica femminile. Il filo che collega tutto, però, è il suo corso, The Hustlers University. 100.000 membri, $50 al mese e un profitto che supera i $65 milioni annui. Per come dice lui, scappare dal Matrix, ovvero dal sistema. Ma questo è solo uno dei corsi che Andrew ha venduto nel corso del tempo, e ce ne sono davvero di tutti i tipi. Ok, ma cosa c'entra con i suoi TikTok, YouTube Shorts e Instagram? Mettiamola così, se ti iscrivi dal link affiliato di una persona, quella riceve il 10%, ovvero $5 all'iscrizione. Certa gente ha anche detto di essere arrivata a $30-40.000, semplicemente ripostando le sue clip con il link affiliato sul loro profilo. Ora che tutto ha un senso, per chi si chiedesse se vale la pena comprare il suo corso, in sostanza no. Vi assicuro che non offre niente che non potete facilmente trovare su internet, come ad esempio informazioni su Amazon FBA, dropshipping e business di questo tipo. Praticamente paghi $50 per entrare in un Discord con persone tutte allo stesso livello, invece di qualcuno che ha già passato tutto ciò e può darti dei veri consigli. A questo punto, se cerchi una comunità simile, ci sono tante persone su Reddit pronte a darti consigli gratis attraverso le loro esperienze. Ad oggi i fratelli Tate sono più ricercati che mai e sembra che il loro successo, la fama e le ragazze continuino solo a crescere. Questa è la tragica storia di Andrew Tate e di come è riuscito a tirare fuori il meglio dalle poche carte che la vita ha deciso di dargli. Questo è quanto per il video, ma sono curioso e sicuro che avrete tanto da dire nei commenti. Fino ad allora, voi cosa ne pensate?